Amazon is a place I scroll through a lot for Nintendo Switch games because a lot of the time there are sales on games that are specific for Amazon, or there are physical copies of games that are available that I honestly didn't know existed. Risk of Rain 2 is one such game that I found, and it's actually over $10 cheaper to order the physical version from Amazon than it is to buy it on the eShop. So naturally I ordered it, and I have spent so many hours enjoying this game. What's going on, you guys? My name is Ryan, aka Arpit. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. We are almost at 200 subscribers, and I really do sincerely appreciate it. We hit 200 so much faster than we hit 100, and your guys' support has been awesome, and I really appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get into Risk of Rain 2 and whether or not you guys should also pick it up either on Amazon or off the eShop. So let's get into it. Now, if you buy this game off Amazon, this game actually includes the original Risk of Rain along with Risk of Rain 2. I won't get too much into Risk of Rain, but it is essentially the 2D version, and Risk of Rain 2 is kind of the 3D version, I guess. I didn't play a ton of Risk of Rain, but if that's something that interests you, this makes this purchase all the more worth it. The concept of Risk of Rain 2 is pretty simple. You choose the survivor, and then you're dropped into a randomly generated stage. Once there, you need to take down enemies in order to acquire gold. This gold is then used to open chests, which offer different upgrades for your character. You can also use gold to reactivate drones that follow you throughout your stages. One of the best things I enjoyed about this game is that every single item you acquire is attached to your character. So, if you end up with like 20 or more items, your survivor is no longer recognizable because they are just covered in the upgrades that you've acquired. I really enjoyed this because it gives you more of a feeling that your character's power is increasing, and it's just kind of a nice touch that the developers added. You can only complete the stage once you have found the teleporter, activated it, and then you also have defeated the boss that spawns once you've activated it. The more stages that you progress through, the more difficult the bosses are, either because they're stronger or because there are more bosses that spawn that you have to defeat. Your goal is to make it through as many stages as possible without dying. Or there is a point in the game that you can enter this thing called the Celestial Portal, which allows you to essentially kill yourself. Now, why would you really want to do that? Well, it's because if you do get to this point, you're awarded 5 of these lunar coins. And these coins are a currency that you can use to unlock characters such as the Artificer, or give you access to new stages or special items. So these always stay with you, and they do carry over between runs, so you won't ever lose them, which is nice. And it's a currency that you can also use in this specific portal. So there's a lot of different uses for it. Now, there are a total, right now at least, of 9 playable characters, each with very unique skills and weapons that make every run feel like an entirely different experience. After you feel like you have mastered one survivor and you move on to the next one, it really does feel like a brand new game. With each character, you have a primary and secondary skill that you usually use most often with every character. But then you also have a utility and special skill. Usually the special skill, or sometimes even the utility, I guess, is kind of like a stronger area damage dealing skill. But honestly, like I said, each character is so different. You kind of just have to mess around, and not one is ever like the other. With each character, there are different skins or abilities that you can unlock by completing certain challenges. So for example, the Engineer special skill allows you to spawn a turret that fires a cannon, and these turrets sit in place. Now, he had a challenge to recruit 12 minions at a time, minions just either being drones or just followers that you have. So by completing that challenge, it unlocked special turrets that can move with you, and they also fire lasers that slow the enemies that they're firing at. So each of these characters has different challenges like that, and some of them are definitely more difficult than others. Like, I've spent literally hours trying to complete certain challenges, and I still haven't completed it. Now, some of them are very specific because you have to do a specific thing like with a boss on a certain stage, and because of the randomly generated levels, that's not always possible. So sometimes you do just kind of have to either quit a run if you want to do that challenge, but honestly, they do vary in difficulty. Like the engineer that I just mentioned, that wasn't super difficult, but there's another challenge that I still haven't completed because it's just so hard. So honestly, you can spend hours upon hours just trying to complete these challenges and unlock everything for these characters. Now you can also complete different challenges to unlock different items that will spawn for you during your runs. And honestly, I just love that they've added so much for when it comes to these challenges, because it gives you so much incentive to do specific things. I do feel like, at least for myself, it could get a little bit boring just kind of going through a run, defeating enemies that you've seen a lot. So when you put in the challenge aspect, it definitely gives you something to work towards every single time you're playing. Now there are 3 different difficulties to choose from. So playing on easy can be really fun because you can go on these really long runs where you're battling dozens of enemies at a time, and at that point it just isn't easy anymore. But Monsoon difficulty kind of forces you to like master the areas as well as your character, or else your run is definitely going to end sooner than expected. Now, one of the best things about this game is that it is constantly receiving new updates that include things like new survivors, new stages, bosses, items, stuff like that. For example, an update just released for consoles that brought us the character Acrid, which is like a poisonous, slow-moving monster, and it also brought us a new stage. And that literally dropped, I think, on the 22nd of May, so just a few weeks ago. And if you take a look at their website, which I'll try and link down below, they said that there should be a June update that will bring us some different game modifiers, a new stage with new bosses, all that kind of good stuff. So I love that this is a game that you could come back to it even in like a few months, and it could be totally different just because of the things they added into the game at that point. Now you can play this game by yourself or with up to 3 other people via local or online play. Now if you want to use the online features, you will need a Nintendo Switch Online membership, so just keep that in mind. This game doesn't have split screen, so if you want to play with your friends, your friend will need a copy of this game on their own Nintendo Switch. That was kind of one gripe, I think, or maybe just one negative thing to say about this game is there definitely were times where I tried jumping online and it did take some time before I ever matched with anyone. And I personally have never found a case where I matched with more than one person. So while you have the capability to match with up to 4 people, I myself only ever found myself randomly being set up with just one other person. Now, I'm not really going to spend too much time on whether I think this game is worth it or not, because you've probably picked up on how I feel at this point. I mean, this game really does have so much to offer with its playable characters, the different stages, the constant updates, etc. And so for those reasons, this game is a must-buy for me. So on Amazon, you can get this game for only $18.93 right now. And I have been watching it. I haven't seen it really fluctuate, maybe $1 or $2, but it's stayed pretty consistent at that price point. And like I said before, this game, if you do purchase it, the physical version, it comes with the original Risk of Rain along with Risk of Rain 2. So if you love physical copies of games like myself, I think you should go out and get this game right now. Now, usually this game is $29.99 on the eShop, but actually right now it is half off for $14.99 up until the 16th of June. So if you don't care about getting this game physical, then you can get it for a few dollars cheaper over the next couple days. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure and hit that like button. Again, subscribe if you guys are new here to the channel and you've enjoyed this video. I'm going to be trying doing some different stuff on the channel, so it's definitely something you don't want to miss out on. So definitely hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next one.